Welcome back to the Sim Racing Studio, everyone. I'm your host, Rudy, and sitting across from me is the person who probably spends more time in the ACC setup menu than in actual sleep, Alex.
That is a fair assessment, Rudy. And honestly, looking at the data for the upcoming round 4 of the Mustang Cup at Laguna Seca, we're all going to need a lot of coffee and even more patience with those tire pressures.
Absolutely. But before we dive into the technicalities of the Ford Mustang GT3 at the Corkscrew, we have to give a massive shout out to our sponsors. This championship simply wouldn't be possible without their support. To our listeners, these guys keep the servers running and the competition fierce, so please show them some love and check out their latest sim racing gear and services.
They really are the backbone of this community. Now, Rudy, let's talk standings. We're heading into California with a very clear picture of who the big guns are, but also who is feeling the heat.
Right. Looking at the first split, Juan Shanahan is sitting pretty at the top with 96 points. Consistency has been his weapon. A win in round 1, followed by 2 P2 finishes. He's the man with a target on his back. But Alex, look at Brandon Williams in second.
Brandon is the fascinating one here. He had a rough round 1, finishing 8th, but he has been untouchable since then, taking the top step in both round 2 and round 3. He's trailing Shanahan by 13 points, but if he keeps this win streak going at Laguna, Juan's lead will evaporate. Brandon's pace is terrifying right now.
It really is. On the other hand, we have guys like Shane Coetzer and Nkobo Mbele who have had a nightmare start. Shane showed massive pace in round 2 with a P4, but those DNS results in rounds 1 and 3 are championship killers.
It's the what-if factor, Rudy. In the second split, it's a mirror image at the top. Josiah Rosau is leading with 96 points. Again, that 1-2-2 finishing record. But the story there has to be Christo Vasagi. He DNFs in round 1, recovers to a P7, and then storms to a victory in round 3. To go from 0 points to a race winner in 3 weeks, that's the definition of a comeback kid.
Let's talk about the tool for the job, the Ford Mustang GT3. Laguna Seca is a momentum track, but it's also incredibly technical. How do you handle that big V8 through the Corkscrew and the Rahal Street?
It's a challenge. The Mustang has that front-end grunt, which is great for the climb up the hill, but you have to be so careful with the sausage curbs at turn 6 and the Corkscrew itself. If you clip them wrong, the aero damage will ruin your top-end speed. I'd be looking at pad 1s for the brakes since it's a sprint, and really focusing on TC2 settings to help manage the rear tires on the exit of the final hairpin. If you overheat those rears early, you're just a passenger.
I noticed a few 5- and 10-second penalties in the recent results. Guys like Franz Stuffberg and Anton Stander getting pinged. Laguna's track limits, especially at the exit of turn 9, are notorious. One wheel in the dirt, and you're either looking at a penalty or a trip into the wall.
And let's not forget the silver versus bronze dynamic. We've got JP Van Heerden sitting P3 in the first split. He's been remarkably steady with a 2-3-4 record. He doesn't have the raw wins like Williams, but he's right there waiting for a mistake. If Shanahan and Williams get into a racing incident battling for the lead, Van Heerden is the primary benefactor.
Speaking of incidents, we've seen some bad blood brewing in the mid-pack. When you have a DNS like Nkobe Mbele or the DNS streaks we're seeing, it usually points to either technical gremlins or some very avoidable contact. The stewards are going to be busy. At Laguna, the dive bomb into turn 11 is always a flashpoint.
Oh, definitely. If you aren't trail braking perfectly into the apex there, you're just inviting the car behind to have a go.
Well, the stage is set. Shanahan and Rosau are the masters of consistency, but Williams and Vasagi have the momentum of recent wins. Who survives the sand and the elevation changes of Monterey?
I can't wait to find out. I'll be watching the tire pressures in the Sector 3 times very closely.
Thanks for joining us for this Mustang Cup preview. Make sure to support our sponsors, keep your SA rating high, and we'll see you on the grid.
See you at the Corkscrew.